Good evening. This is Mr. Glenn again. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it may be at the time that you're watching this. Today we're going to be talking about dividing polynomials. And what we have is a dividend divided by a divisor. And we have b to the fourth minus 16 being divided by b to the second minus 4. And so in order to solve this, we have to set it up as a long division problem. And so all the terms in this polynomial are not given. We have an exponent of 2. We also need an exponent of 1. So we're going to write it as b to the second plus 0b to the first minus 4. And so in the dividend, we have to do the same approach where you see it's b to the fourth and b to the 0. We're missing 3, 2, and 1 as an exponent. So we're going to write it as such: b to the fourth plus 0b to the third plus 0b to the second plus 0b to the first minus 16. Okay. Looks like a pretty long problem, but if you understand the concept, it's not as long. Okay. And here we go. What we're going to do first is we're going to look at the first terms, and we're going to see how many times can b squared go into b to the fourth. So we just, I work my work on the side, give me some room, and I'm looking to see how many times can b to the second go into b to the fourth. All right, so I am going to use my quotient rule. This is the same, these are the same bases, b and b, and so all I have to do now is subtract the exponents, and it's b to the second. I'm going to take this b to the second, I'm going to put it above the like term 0b to the second, and this is called my quotient, right? The answer to a division problem is a quotient. I'm going to take my quotient and I'm going to multiply it by the divisor. So that's b to the second times b to the second plus 0b to the first minus 4. I'm going to distribute like we've talked about in other lessons. So I have b to the second times b to the second, b to the fourth. I have b to the second times 0b to the first. Excuse me. And what you'll look at is that this is automatically a 1. Or should I say over here, this was 1 times 1, which gives us 1. Okay. And then b to the second times b to the second is b to the fourth. 1 times 0 is 0. B to the second times b to the first is b to the third. And that's because of the product rule. Whenever you're multiplying and they have the same basis, you add the exponent. Then we have 1 times negative 4, which is negative 4, and b to the second times 0b to the first power, or 0 power, I'm sorry, is going to be b to the second. Okay, write that a little better. I know some of y'all probably make fun of my handwriting, but that's okay. And then I take this information, I'm going to plug it in right underneath the other dividend, and I'm going to get ready to subtract. So I'm going to subtract, and so I'm simply, basically what I'm doing is changing the sign. So I'm subtracting this out. So this becomes a negative, this becomes a negative, this becomes a positive. These cancel out because they're 0. Okay. And then I add 0 plus 4 is 4, and b to the second is going to be b to the second. Okay, because we're adding like terms, the bases stay the same. All right, so then I'm going to bring down the rest of my dividend. All right, and so I'm going to go back over here to my divisor, and I'm going to look and see. You see that there are 3 terms, and how many times can 3 go into 2? Well, 0, right? So I'm going to then bring down my 16. So now I have 3 terms going into 3 terms. All right, and so I'm going to show my work there. I'm going to go back to the first terms, and I'm going to have 4b squared divided by b squared, right? 4 divided by 1 is 4. And b squared divided by b squared is 1, right? Any number divided by itself is 1. Okay, so those reduce out, not cancel out, because canceling means it's 0, but in this case it's 1. So it's a positive 4, and I put it above the negative 16. I take that same 4, I'm going to multiply it by my divisor. And I distribute the 4. I have 4b squared, 4 times 0b to the first. It's going to be 0b to the first. And then 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. I take this number, I plug it in. I have 4b squared plus 0b to the first minus 16. All right, and I'm going to subtract. I'm simply changing the signs. 4 minus 4, or 4b squared minus 4b squared is 0. 0b minus 0b is 0. And then negative 16 plus 16 is 0. So my answer is going to be b squared plus 4. And that's how you divide polynomials with missing terms. Thank you for your time. Tune in again to Mr. Glenn. Subscribe, as well as leave a comment. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye.